Hello. So, welcome to this week's reading blog. Today is Sunday, and I just finished reading Among the Bees and Briars by Ashley Poston. I think I did start this today as well. I listened to it like 40% audio while I was editing last week's reading vlog and my bookshelf making arranging video, and this was really fun. I really enjoyed this one. It's like a super action packed, I would say more of a lower YA type of book. It has a very fascinating magic system for sure, but it's not very much explored. It's not very intricate. Characters are okay too. I really enjoy them and the romance, but the overall is really fun. I enjoyed it. And I'm planning on reading. What am I planning on reading? I think I'm gonna pick up The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth next, which is another book that I got from my book box. I don't remember which one. I think it was Let Joy Crate or Fae Crate. I don't really remember. And yeah, I think Gear Breakers. I think I might need to take a little break with that one, maybe drop it for now. Once the audiobook is available, then maybe I'll pick it up and see if, reading it through audio will help. But right now it's just, I feel like, realized I was trying too hard to read the book, and a book shouldn't be that hard to read. And I know some books require you to really put effort when you're reading it, but not in this way where it feels like I'm forcing myself to read it, even though I'm not super interested. But again, I stopped at a point where I'm starting to really understand the story more, but just, I don't know, I don't want to continue when it feels like I didn't understand anything that happened before. I want to have a better understanding of what happened before those 90 pages, because I feel like it's the setup for the story, and it's very important for me to really understand a lot of it, for me to understand that. So I've reread the first 40 pages already, and I still didn't get it. So I think yeah, I'm just going to wait for the audiobook first and then pick it up whenever that will be available. It's probably going to take me a month before it's available through my library, so I'm going to be putting that aside for now and picking up another book and continuing with my TBR, because I feel like if I push myself to read that book, I'm gonna go into a slump and I'm not gonna finish the rest of the books that I do want to get to this month, that I probably should have been able to go through if I hadn't pushed myself to read that book. So I'll be reading Left-Handed Booksellers of London, and I have a few more in my TBR. I'm actually doing really well, but I do have quite a few more for the rest of this month. But I'm pretty confident I'm gonna get to the majority of them, because I am going to not be reading one of the books, which is Namesake. I'm just not interested in reading continuing that series. I'm just not as invested. So yeah, that is my update for right now, and I will see you tomorrow for my next one. Hello, it is Monday night, and I picked up The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth next, and I'm confused. I don't know if Gear Breakers put me into a funk, but I'm really confused about this one. So it's more of the magic system that's really confusing to me, because I feel like I'm going along with the story and I know what's happening, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it, because for one, I thought that the heroine didn't know the existence of this magic world. So I thought things would be explained to her and therefore to us readers. But she's just going along with it, everything's fine, and I'm just what? Because I'm confused. So this starts off as the main character, the heroine Susan, sees her uncle gets dissolved into powder by this guy called Merlin, who tells her that he's a left-handed bookseller. And it's not really, I don't think Merlin really told her what they do, and I think she's looking for her father, and Merlin's also on a quest to find someone, and I don't really understand how that magic world fits into her world. For a second there, I thought, because this is set in the 80s, yeah, for a second I thought we had a time travel kind of thing where it's set present time, but then Merlin is from the 80s. But apparently it's parallel worlds, where London where there's no magic, and there's London with magic where Merlin is from, and there's left-handed and right-handed booksellers. And I don't really know what's happening, really. I know the things that are happening, but I don't really know the whole why it's happening. I'm only 70 pages in. The writing isn't really hard to get through, but I think I'm gonna skim through the first 70 pages again. I don't know if I'm going to slump or anything, but I mean, I read Among the Bees and Briars yesterday because that one is like a really like readable book. This one isn't, or at least that one was just really readable, and this one is like normal. I don't know. I really don't know. Hello, it's a quick update. Ignore rings I have on my face. I am, I think, 40% of the way through this one. I've just been listening to it through audiobook, and that really has helped with it. Just the first 100 definitely focused on very heavy world building and almost lost me. So I'm very lucky that I was able to combine the audiobook version of it with this one, because I feel like I would have struggled so much if I didn't have that audiobook. So I'm well into the book, and I'm definitely continuing it because we're now definitely getting into the actual meat of the story. We're done with, I guess, the basic foundation of the world building thing. I will be continuing this one and update you guys. Hopefully I'll finish this today. I want to, so I can start a new one, because it's been a while since I finished a book. So, and I don't want to get into a slump, because I feel like I will if I don't finish this today and not pick up a new book, or at least go through majority of this. So hello, Thursday night, just finished it, and I did struggle a little bit, but it's definitely action-packed, and the whole feel of the book reminds me of the one by Shannon Maguire, the school something, the short stories that she had. I don't know why I can't remember the name. I love that book series. So it reminded me of those, in that it has that sort of whimsy, and the magic system isn't very well explained, but it has kind of also like that Alice in Wonderland kind of feel, where there's our world and the magical world. It's super heartwarming and cozy, in that it's a very familiar kind of story with like a parallel universe, or like a parallel world that exists outside or within our own that we don't know exist. And even though like the whole magic system and the magic of the world doesn't fully explain, it's the kind of world building that doesn't need it. It was very fun to read. Definitely action packed, a lot of things happening all the time. It just wasn't the right time for me, or I was just not in the mood for it, but I still finished it. I still really enjoyed it. But I feel like if I had read it at a different time, I would have enjoyed it more. But yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad. Actually enjoyed it a lot. Looking back on everything that happened, I was very confused sometimes, because a lot of things were happening, and sometimes I don't even realize that we're doing something else anymore. So I'm kind of, that's my fault. So yeah, again, still really enjoyed it. So I do have a few books left to read, but I know I'm not gonna finish all of it, which is fine. But I do want to finish the books that I have left to read for my smutty TBR. That's it for right now. I will update you guys tomorrow when I start a new book. Hello. I forgot to update you guys yesterday, but I finished Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I really enjoyed this one. This was definitely tropey. Like, there's a lot of like that grumpy sunshine kind of character, and the I will burn the world to protect you, and like, you know, the trope where the guy is only soft for the main character. But I loved the exploration of their trauma here. That's weird to say, because obviously trauma is not good. So content warnings for that one. They both have like really bad like traumatic experiences as kids. I really enjoy that element of the story, and how trauma has affected them throughout the years, and what they're experiencing now, and their relationship with the people around them. And I just enjoyed the whole like guy who was only ever soft for her and super protective of her. There were some parts that I didn't enjoy about his being protective. It's bordering controlling, but again, I still really enjoy this one. So if you enjoy having like heroes or like love interests that are like, I will burn, like literally this one, he has a heart of ice, but for her he'd burn the world. So if you like heroes that are like that, then you will enjoy this one. And I am going to start Twisted Games. Now, I heard Twisted Games is better than Twisted Love, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. This is a bodyguard princess romance, and I'm so excited because it's going to be a 4-book series following the 4 friends that are present in here. So the first one is Ava Chen, and the second one is the royalty of the group, like actual English royalty, Bridget versus Bridget. So that's it for right now. Today is Saturday. We have a lot of things to do today. Like, we have to go to the dentist, and we're having dinner to celebrate my brother's birthday. It was supposed to be last week, but my sister got really sick, so we canceled it, and so we're planning on doing it today. having lunch today, or having dinner today. And so I don't know if we will be drinking, but definitely it's going to be a long day, so I'm definitely not going to finish this one, especially this is like 100 pages longer than Twisted Love. And Twisted Love is pretty dense book, like there's a lot of things happening in here. It's definitely not a super light read. It's definitely dark. So that's my update for right now. I just finished filming my fall recommendations video. It's 30 minutes long. I don't know how I got it to 30 minutes. Like, that doesn't make sense. I only talked about 10 books, so it shouldn't take that long. Anyway, I can probably cut it down to like maybe 20 minutes, hopefully. Gosh, okay. But yeah, that's my update for right now. I'll see you at the end of the day, probably. Hello, so quick update. Today is actually Sunday. I forgot to. Well, I didn't forget. By the time I remember, I was already in bed and laying down. So update on Twisted Games. I only got, I think, 100 pages, 120 pages into this one, which I expected. I actually read much more than I thought I would, but because yesterday was super busy, I didn't really expect to finish this. But so far, I'm really enjoying this, and I think I'm gonna like this definitely more than Twisted Love. I mean, just so far I really like the dynamic between the bodyguard and Prince and Bridget. I think it's because we really like follow their relationship. Unlike with Twisted Love, Ava and Alex already knew each other, so they already have a history. I feel like the attraction has always been there for a while, but it wasn't further developed until the book happened. But for this one, because Reese is her new bodyguard, and like we met him in the first book, but obviously we didn't really get much of him, so we're following them, really like getting to know each other. And I think it's a really fascinating kind of story when one of the characters is such a public figure as Bridget, with her having like a public persona and having been born into this role and having learned being a princess from a very young age. I don't know, it's really fascinating to read stories, even though they're fictional, about them. Plus, you know, an American bodyguard, ex-Navy SEAL is really interesting. So again, I'm really enjoying it so far, but that is it for this week's vlog. I think it's gonna be super short because I didn't really read a lot of books this week. I only finished 3 books. I do have books I didn't read that are on my TBR, but I'm upset about it, or like down about it, because I still read a lot of books this month. So yes, I will see you on my next vlog. Thank you so much for watching.